Good morning, everybody. It's Andy Cumbo Floyd. I want to take a minute before I talk about self-publishing just to say that if you are hearing impaired, I am doing captions for these on YouTube. And so you can go and see those captions there and follow along. It is taking me about 24 hours after I post a video there to go back and clean up the auto captions that are available on YouTube. So if you'll just be patient with me, it takes them a while to get them live and then I go back in. But I am doing that. But today I just wanted to come and talk to you guys a little bit about self-publishing. It's really on my mind at this moment because on Monday, my new book, Discover Your Writing Self, will go live on everywhere. It'll go live everywhere. And so it's a book I'm self-publishing. It's a book I did first as a course and will do as a course again in January, but I wanted to self-publish it for a few reasons. This book in particular I wanted to self-publish because the content was already written. I already knew there was some demand for it. The course had over 900 people enrolled in it, so I knew that the content was viable, that it would have an audience. And that's particularly why I chose this one. Also, it's not a very long book, and so I was able to format it and all of those things fairly inexpensively. So the need to return my money is not as vast as it might be with something else. So that's the reason I'm self-publishing this title. But I always self-publish. I would totally be great with having a book published by a traditional publisher. I'm not opposed to that. I am certainly not judgmental about people who choose to do that themselves. But for me, because publishing books is part of how I make my income, the speed of self-publishing in particular is really important to me. So let me see if I can articulate that for those of you that don't necessarily know these publication streams very well. I can take a book from start to finish, meaning no pages written, to publish and in the world in 9 months if I self-publish. And I'm about to do that this November with my book, Charlotte and the 12. In traditional publishing, that process is usually much, much longer. So typically at least 1 to 2 years after the book is actually written. So you're looking at more like a 3-year timeline, which again is fine. It's just slow if you are wanting to make some income from self-publishing. Another reason I self-publish is since I now know how to do it, this will be my 5th and 6th book coming out this fall. It isn't as time-consuming as it was, say, for me when I first self-published. So I know the processes to go through, and I'm happy, by the way, to talk about that with you guys if you want to post comments below. I know how it works. I know the systems I need. I know the sort of timeline, and each time I do it, I get better at it. So it's not so daunting for me, and because it's not so daunting, the perk of being able to make all the decisions myself, or more specifically with my launch teams, is really important to me. I am by nature somebody who doesn't do super well with authority or being told what to do, something I'm working on. But in publishing, you really are having to do a lot of collaboration with editors and marketing teams, which has a great amount of benefit to it. But for me, I'd rather put my time and energy into producing the book and marketing it than I would having discussions about stuff. So that's another reason. Now, one of the reasons I would like to traditionally publish, aside from the just general affirmation of what I do, is that they tend to have more of a budget to work with. I'm not going to be so bold as to say they have a large budget, because that's just not true anymore. But they have more of a budget. They also have professionals on a team. So cover designers, editors, all those folks are working at least more or less together to produce a cohesive product. Whereas I have to contract out with freelancers, which I love to do. I have a great team that I love. Again, I'm happy to recommend them. If you want me to, just post a note in the comments. So I have to coordinate all of that stuff myself. And that's one drawback of self-publishing. But the largest bonus is, in addition to just the quick timeline, is that I make more money on each book that's sold. So I can, depending on the price, make up to 70% of the cover price of a book. Whereas if I was traditionally publishing, that would be more like 15 to 20%. Again, there's pros and cons of that. Hopefully, a traditional publisher has a wider reach, so you sell more copies and therefore make more money just at a lower percentage per copy. If I had a marketing team at my disposal and could self-publish, that would be awesome, but that's just not how this works. So that's why I self-publish. Again, I think it's great if you traditionally publish. I have no dog in that fight, but I choose to self-publish. So please post comments, questions below if you'd like. I'd be happy to answer them. And thanks again for watching. I'm over at andylit.com. Thank you.